Hi Pisces, this is your March reading for Sun, Moon, and Risings. Please keep in mind that this is a general reading and this will not resonate for every single Pisces out there. All right, you guys, I'm going to start shuffling here. So what is happening for my Pisces for the month of March? So Pisces, I feel like some of you guys are going to want to work out some type of conflict for the month of March. But I feel like people around you might not be very cooperative. And it feels like something that could be when it comes to your household or close people around you. Okay, that's amazing how that flew out like that. So, Pisces. So we have the Three of Cups, the Four of Wands, the Lovers, the King of Wands, the Star, the Moon, and the Six of Cups. And I'm already kind of feeling that you guys are the King of Wands this month. For a lot of you guys, you're in the process of healing something right now. But there's like this sense of fear, like not necessarily knowing what you're going to do. It's like you're working through the problems, but you're afraid of what might come up, or you're just afraid of what to do next. Like something is missing, like you're trying to move forward, but it feels like for some of you, you're either missing pieces of the information that you want to know, or there's something here that is just clouded with a sense of mystery. And for a lot of you guys, because of that Lovers, it can just be a choice. It doesn't have to actually be with a person necessarily. But for some of you guys, I'm really getting it has to do with a person that you are seeing. And I'm also getting for some of you guys, it's secretly seeing. Like some of you might not really be telling people that you're seeing this person, but maybe it's like their parent is in the way, or it's like their friend is in the way. Like there's almost like a third party interference in this connection. And for some of you, this is like family members, or a family member getting involved with your spouse, or your boyfriend or girlfriend, or, But I almost get the sense that for some of you guys, this is a cycle. It feels like this is a cycle that you guys maybe have perhaps gone through multiple times. Because this feels something like, when you're like with that Six of Cups, I'm not necessarily getting like, oh, this is a soulmate or like something, anything like that. But I mean, for some of you, that could be the case. But what I'm kind of getting here is this has something to do with like childhood, where you feel like there was always like your parent always got in the way of something that you wanted. Like it's weird because it's like there's something here that's unresolved and it keeps showing up in third party situation. So that's kind of what's happening for some of my Pisces for the month of March, and maybe even past that, because it feels like this has been something that could have even been occurring as of late, like even prior before March, or anytime you guys tune into this. Because I feel like something is moving really slow, but what's moving really slow is like your own reassurance of yourself. Your own stability that you feel in yourself. You've been slowly getting to this point, Pisces, where you're starting to really realize a connection or something that seems to be different or off. And it has a lot to do with your childhood. And it's like you've been slowly coming to this realization where I feel like you're going to gain clarity. But the reason this is happening is because you have some kind of emotional attachment that you're not letting go of here, Pisces. Probably due to a story that you tell yourself. Like you're holding on to something maybe based off of hope. And it has a lot to do with something that you perhaps didn't receive as a child growing up in your home. And it's emotionally based. But it's like a need that needs to be fulfilled. And because it's something that needs to be fulfilled, it's like you have this fear inside of yourself. And it's like maybe you don't ever tell people this, but it's like an inner struggle inside of yourself. And I feel like some of you could even flat out deny it inside of yourself as well, like not wanting to see it. And then with the Strength card, it blocks you from truly make a decision, which is knowing that like whatever this hope is might not really come. And it's like needing to accept that so that you can have a new beginning. And in having a new beginning, you're going to be able to have the balance that you're seeking. Because I feel like a lot of you guys feel unstable and you feel alone and abandoned. And that's how you've always felt. And it's like this mother wound or some kind of abandonment issues that you guys have. And then people keep interfering with it in a third party situation because you could have felt abandoned at a young age. Because like, say, for instance, like, and this could just be like an example, right? You could have had a mother that chose like a spouse over you, or chosen something over you, or you just felt abandoned in that way. And so as you continue on, this has been very difficult for you. But it's like showing up in your relationships. So I'm going to pull a card. And this card's going to be what we're going to reveal at the end. So it's just going to be a closing message. It's the main message here for my Pisces. Okay, just because I feel like I want to pull that now, and then we'll flip it later. But I am really getting that for a lot of you guys, you're going to be going through a lot of changes in the month of March. Because it feels like there's going to be a lot of things questioned when it comes to your closer, intimate relationships. There's going to be a lot of things that you're going to start wondering and maybe trying to needing to introspect. So I feel like a lot of you guys, for the time of March, you really need to sit down and really sit with your energy, sit with yourself. Because I feel like you've been caught up lately in other people's energy. And for some of you, even perhaps the drama that other people give you. But I feel like a lot of you guys really need to sit down and really be honest with yourselves, because I'm getting this sense that some of you, you're ready to heal, you're ready to change this habit, this behavior, but it's difficult because I feel like this was something that was like a sense of an abandonment. And now it's like people come in or things seem to interfere with your personal relationships. And it seems like people either take them away from you, or it's like they end up leaving, and they do so because, or it's like they always side with somebody else over you. And this is like a habit for some of my Pisces, something that you guys have had going for a while. And what's really happening here is it's your sense of not being enough, feeling that people are going to leave you, feeling like you have to be one way in order to be loved. So like there's a lot of things that you guys are kind of processing, and I feel like you've been processing this for a while. But for some of you guys, it could have been even in an unconscious way, like you were playing this out unconsciously, but like consciously you were picking up maybe little cues about things. and you have been kind of working through it, and now it's needing to kind of be released and let go of. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening here. So I'm going to pull some clarifiers here. Okay. Okay, so Pisces, one of the things that I think is interesting is it always feels like you always seem to attract people who always seem to have either a lot going on, where their life is just always hectic and it always seems like they never have time for you, or you're always around people who always have a lot of options and maybe always either treat you like an option, or they always seem to be interested in you for a while and things seem to go great, and then they either seem to kind of lose interest, or it just seems like people start to just kind of pull away from you over extended period of time. And so it's like you're noticing these patterns now, and a lot of you guys are becoming more aware of it. And I think it's bringing up a lot of pain for a lot of you guys, really needing to process it and heal it and work through it. But it's like this month I keep sensing is a needing to learn how to give yourself more self-love and self-appreciation. Because I feel like maybe growing up you could have had a mother, or you could have had just incidences where perhaps maybe your mother wasn't necessarily cold, but maybe at one point in time you had a memory or something did happen where maybe your mom didn't either protect you, or maybe she left you in some way. I'm just getting a sense of abandonment, and it's something that has to do with the mother or a father, maybe even in a way. But it feels like a parental figure that could have influenced the way that you view relationships. Because it just feels like no matter what, you want to invest into your future, but you're afraid to invest into the wrong thing. You're also really afraid to really put yourself out there and actually admit when you're scared or not. Perhaps even you're not really explaining, maybe for some of you, maybe you have explained to your partner, hey, I'm insecure, or hey, this happened, but for some of you guys, maybe you just don't really express that, because I'm getting this sense that you guys are holding in a lot of pain. And there's always this mental anguish going on when it comes to people around you. You're always stressing, always worrying, always wondering if you're saying or doing the right thing. So I'm really getting that, again, this abandonment factor is really big for some of you guys. And that is something that maybe you could have even put off healing for a while, Or maybe when you would try and heal this abandonment wound, because it can be a deep wound. And sometimes we have to heal things little by little in order for us to truly heal a specific area. So I feel like for some of you guys, this is something that you guys could have just kept pushing off and not wanting to heal and not wanting to maybe look at. Not wanting to acknowledge it at one point. And now it's you acknowledge it, you're aware of it, you want to heal it, but you just don't know how to go forward with it. And I get that the reason you have such a hard time is because you're always in your mind. I think some of my Pisces have gone through a lot of stuff where, because I'm picking up abandonment pretty strong here. So I feel like some of you guys have really gone through a lot of things that have shaped you and changed the way that you view others and even maybe how you interact with others. I feel like a lot of you guys might be wanting to isolate yourselves more from people, really wanting to try and clear your own mind. And I feel like some of you guys have really tried to work around this issue, but it's just difficult because it's like you're always in your mind, but you're not present in your body. You're not really aware of what's happening internally, because it's like you're on this fight or flight response. It's like you're afraid to let your guard down. You're afraid to relax. Even in your own home, it's like some of you guys just feel so on edge. Like you just feel like you can't. Because I feel like for some of you guys, you might feel like there has been a lot of secrets. You might feel like there's been a lot of things left unsaid. People could have really said some things and really have hurt you guys. And this is something maybe even just like growing up all the time, maybe hearing that inner critic of your mother or your father. But there's something, it's like this tape that plays in the back of your mind that's like, you're not safe. Nobody will ever love you. You're not lovable, and it's like you say these things, you believe these things, and you like have this perspective that people are going to abandon you. And it's like when we believe that, people around us start to show that, and it's really hard to accept that once you learn to appreciate those around you, once you learn to, it's hard because it's like you got to get out of that mindset of danger. Nobody's like, for some of you, it's like you have this fear that people are out to get you or that people don't like you. And it's like you feel like you have to defend yourself all the time, but you don't have to defend yourself. The only time you should really ever defend yourself is when somebody's crossing your boundaries or when someone is trying to physically harm you, right? We don't need to be defensive anymore. So it's really hard to get out of that mindset, but I feel like some of you guys are really in that mindset. But that's just really affecting your personal relationships, because when you have this fear that somebody's out to get you, and I'm not saying that you guys are like paranoid, but when we experience a lot of trauma or when we experience a lot of things that have led us to believe that it's not safe to open up, then it's really easy for us to close ourselves off and start to be like question everyone's motives. And I'm kind of getting that with some of my Pisces. That's something that you guys are going to have to start like acknowledging and working towards, because I feel like a lot of you guys have lost a sense of passion. And I think a lot of you guys are, and I'm not saying that you are vain. What I'm getting from this vanity card here is I get the sense that some of you guys, you take people on their first like appearance, the way they first appear to you. Like maybe you're like, yeah, first appearance is everything. Like maybe some of you don't give other people like not second chances, but what I'm just saying is maybe you just have a particular idea of what a person is like before really maybe knowing them. And so I feel like a lot of you guys, that's something that's been kind of blocking you, is maybe you're just afraid that everyone's going to hurt you in a way. And so maybe that's something that you're kind of pulling back. I just feel like there's a lot that is getting processed and just getting released this month. Like you guys are just really going within, really balancing things out. And it's nothing wrong with the beliefs. Like if we have negative beliefs about somebody, it doesn't make us a bad person, or it doesn't mean that that person's bad. It's just we could have had a negative experience, or just the way we viewed that experience could have just been negative. So I feel like a lot of you guys were really just needing to go back and review everything and really say to yourself, is this really an issue? Is this really a problem? Can I actually move past this? And it's going to take time for you to have to start to reprogram your nervous system, to reprogram your subconscious into not feeling like you have to keep defending yourself, not feeling like you have to keep protecting yourself or pushing people away. It's a way that we protect ourselves. And it's just we need to learn how to change that up. And so I feel like for a lot of you guys, that's where that's going to take place. Because I feel like a lot of you guys right now are going to be in more of like discovering yourself, understanding things. And I really feel like you're going to end things into completion. You're really going to understand something here. And I feel like you're going to complete this cycle that's been happening for you guys for a while. And it's been a very difficult cycle, I think, for a lot of my Pisces. And we all go through similar cycles, and some people have to learn it at different times. But I'm really getting here that a lot of you guys, you're now really understanding this. And you're going to start like being more honest, I feel like, because I'm getting this sense that a lot of you are aware of these issues. And it's just having to really look at things objectively and being more honest with yourself. Like, how good are you, Pisces, at communicating your feelings? How good are you at really just being open to understanding another person's perspective or side? Like, are you more open-minded? Are you more flexible than is there a way that you can be better in communicating? So really learn to figure out where your weaknesses are, and then figure out where your strengths lie, and then build upon your strengths and learn to find a way to learn from your weaknesses and be able to utilize that in the best way possible. So I'm really getting that with you guys, that once you figure out what your weaknesses and your strengths are, you can kind of come at it from a different way of perhaps approaching situations with people and being able to be more open and honest. Because when you come at it defensive, Pisces, it makes everyone else feeling attacked and defensive. And if you come at it in a more loving and a more, okay, I'm open to having a discussion and I'm going to say how I feel, but I'm not going to accuse you. That's like the way you need to be careful of the way you word things, because I feel like the way you word things is why people get on the defense and why things start unnecessary dramas. So for some of you guys, that is kind of what I'm getting here, is you're really learning how to communicate, and you're having to learn to communicate by figuring out what it is that you really want, what it is that your boundaries lie, what do you truly want, Pisces? And being able to understand that people come and go, and it's okay to let people come and go, and we don't need to control them. We don't need to beg them to stay, because I feel like, again, this abandonment issue, it's like you really want people to like you, so maybe you just don't speak up, and then it starts to fester and boil, and then eventually you just start a drama and you start fighting with this person, or things come up where they can become passive aggressive, right? So it's like there's a sense of communication here that needs to be cleared and needs to be worked through. And I feel like a lot of you guys are kind of coming to that realization. So let's pull the last card here. What is it that you guys have? We have loneliness. When you stop fearing your loneliness, you stop settling for less than you deserve. May I embrace and love my solitude, and that's when kindred spirits can finally come. See, exactly. That's your guys' last message, and I feel like that's beautiful because it's true. When we can start to sit in ourselves and be comfortable with ourselves, then we can start sitting with others and becoming comfortable with others. And I feel like for a lot of you guys, you really needing to get to have conversations with yourself, get to know yourself. And I feel like for the month of March, that's kind of what you should be doing, is really discovering who you are, discovering what it is that you really want, what makes you happy, and really being able to figure out a way to communicate that in a way that is best received by others. When you can come at it in a nicer, more expressive, more open, let me tell you why I want this and why I need this, and being open about it. And if people aren't willing to meet you halfway, then they're not worth your time. So that's what I have for my Pisces for the month of March. I hope that this resonates, and I hope that this helps you guys. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great and wonderful day. Thank you, Pisces. Bye.